I just saw the Odyssey and I have many thoughts. First and foremost, I'm just so grateful to be alive to witness this in theaters, especially in IMAX 70mm. Christopher Nolan's Greek epic is probably the closest thing we've gotten to Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy in 2 decades, both visually and narratively. They're both set in fantasy worlds, but the directors hold up a mirror to mankind, showcasing its many imperfections and the quest for something that's really noble, which is returning to your home. Just like every Nolan film, he sets his protagonists on a pedestal of praise only to strip them down to imperfect, relatable human beings having to accept the consequences of perilous actions and decisions, even if they're inadvertent or small. The film itself is gorgeous. Hoyte van Hoytema, who has worked with Nolan since Interstellar, he's proving himself again that he is truly one of the masters of modern cinematography, especially with large film formats. There's a few sequences in the movie that I won't spoil, but given that this is the first movie in Hollywood history shot entirely in IMAX 70mm, and the film camera itself, the blimp, is ginormous, I was just thinking to myself, how are you doing this tracking shot? How are you filming this? And it's not CGI, this is all practical. How are you making this possible? Again, making me think of how much of The Lord of the Rings is really a lightning bolt in a bottle, that they're doing impossible filmmaking for us to enjoy as audiences, and I am so grateful. Thank God there are deep shadows and blacks in this movie. We live in a contemporary culture of cinema looking very flat, washed out, bland, perfect lighting. The Odyssey, every single frame could be a painting, particularly though the interior night scenes in Ithaca. My eyes were open to a new reality with IMAX 70mm. This is my second time seeing the movie in this format, but the Odyssey itself uses it so well because it's not shifting between IMAX aspect ratios to regular aspect ratios. It keeps you fully sold in this fantasy world. The digital equivalent of 18K, there's no loss of data, the imperfect color timing, and there's film grain and scratches with each particular print and reel of this 3-hour epic, makes you realize and appreciate that you're watching basically an inorganic organism paint in real time. And that's just so special. It transports you into the movie. It's not just telling you, it's showing you and having you live with the characters because of how it's shot and presented. It's truly magical. There is life in death. That statement came to me after watching this film because the underworld sequence stuck out unlike anything else. And Christopher Nolan was just pulling all the pieces together perfectly, from the cinematography, blocking, pacing, acting, dialogue. It's like his world, Odysseus' world, is falling apart, and this mess is turned into a masterpiece as he has to come to the reality of what his choices have inflicted upon others. And he actually grows from it. The sequence is quiet, it's almost like a whisper, but it has such an innate impact on you as a viewer and on the character itself. And I just left that moment with the characters having a deeper appreciation for life and how fragile mankind really is. And on top of that, it looks beautiful. Though it's comprised of basically blacks and blues, I felt that there was more color in that sequence than most of modern Hollywood movies being pumped out of that machine. Undoubtedly, the most terrifying sequence is with Cersei. I don't want to spoil anything. You have to watch it in the context of the film to have your mind melt. But like Hayao Miyazaki, Christopher Nolan pulls back the polished structure and curtain of mankind to reveal its rotten undercarriage. There's small nuances within the scenes itself but even more so, it's freaky in a really great way. In classic Nolan fashion, nonlinear storytelling is the name of the game, but I'd argue this is his best outing at weaving numerous storylines and plot subjects into a syncopated story rhythm. Penelope's plot is in 3/4 time, Odysseus's is in 6/8, while the invasion of Troy is in 2/4. But Nolan weaves past moments into the future steps of Odysseus into a cacophony of perfection, and I don't say that lightly. The cast leaves their name at the door, time toils with the soul, and editing plays the most important part in pulling all of these threads together like Penelope or Odysseus do. Consequences matter. That's the entire riddle of the movie, from King Agamemnon to Antinous to Odysseus. The Odyssey is what we as movie lovers and filmmakers wait for and dream of. It's grand, miraculous, glorious on the biggest format possible, showcasing microfractures of mankind. Visceral visual poetry is sprinting across the screen.